So today we're going to start off our lessons with doing some writing. So for the parents, I'm just going to go ahead and tell you what you're going to need. For some of this lesson, you're going to need 10 counters for your kids to work with for the first part. And then we are going to do some writing of the letters. So this one is going to be focusing on writing numerals 1 through 6. So we're going to go ahead and pull out these pages out of our Stepping Stones student journal. I want you to turn to page 29 or blue B. If you're looking for the little B's at the bottom, it's a blue B and it looks like this. And you can go ahead and rip that out. It says 2.3a right there. And this lesson is actually going to take 2 pages. We're going to tear out the next page, which is 31. Up here it says 2.3b. And this is what we're going to be doing after the lesson is over. So go ahead and tear those out. Your students are going to need pencil or crayon, whatever they're most comfortable with writing. It's kind of up to you. Whatever you got going around, it doesn't really matter. You can use a pen too as well. So go ahead and rip those out and we'll get ready for the lesson. Okay guys, so for this first part, I'm going to try not to shake this thing too much. I'm going to hold on to it while we're doing the lesson. For the first part of this lesson, we're going to just practice some of our counting, okay? So what I want you to do is take out your 10 little counters that you have or your parents have given you. Those can be pennies, they can be whatever you want, and we're going to practice some counting. For my thing, I'm going to pretend that I'm a zookeeper and I have to put some animals in the zoo, okay? So right now I have my little zoo. This thing right here is my little pretend zoo. You can see all the animals are not in the zoo right now, so it's an empty zoo. Not much of a zoo at this point. So we're going to pretend to put some some animals into our zoo, and we're going to do our counting to see how many animals we have. And for that, we have got bears. Bears aplenty. I have got so many bears. There's 1,000 bears in this thing right now. We're not going to count that high. We're just going to put some animals in the zoo, okay? So will you count with me? I want you to take your counters and I want you to move them while you count. So right now you should have a big stack of counters, kind of like that. Big stack of counters. How many are there? We don't know. We haven't counted them yet. All right, so the way we're going to count them is we're going to put them in the zoo. Okay, let's see if I can zoom this out a little bit. And I can't, but that's okay. We'll just keep working on it. So now I got my zoo. I'm the zookeeper. These are my animals and I need to put them in the zoo. So let's count them. I'm going to move them as I count them so I don't mix them up. I need to have 10 animals in this zoo so I know when to stop. All right, so I've got them. There they are. I'm going to pick this one up and I'm going to go 1. I'm not going to go 7, 8, 9. I'm going to go 1 because I've only got 1 bear. I'm going to put 1 animal in my zoo. 1 animal in my zoo. 2 animals in my zoo. 3 animals in my zoo. 4 animals in my zoo. 5 animals in my zoo. 6 animals in my zoo. 7 animals in my zoo. 8 animals in my zoo. 9 animals in my zoo. And 10 animals in my zoo. I only wanted to have 10 in my zoo. That means all of these extra animals, I'm just going to put them back in my big bucket of teddy bears. All right, so we have 10 animals in our zoo right now, okay? So now, I counted those one at a time. I counted 1 animal in my zoo. Second, 2 animals in my zoo. Third animal in my zoo. So I know that I have 10 animals in here because I just counted them all. But what if I start with a different number? Usually you start with 1, but what if I have some animals already in my zoo? We started that last one with 0 animals in the zoo. Let's see what happens if we start with this many animals. Whoop. How many animals are in my zoo already? I see 1, 2, 3 bears already in my zoo. So if I'm starting with 3 in here, and I've got to take all these bears and put them in here, am I going to go 1, 2, 3, or can I start at 3? Let's see what happens if we start at 3. I've got 3 in here right now, so I'm going to pick one up and I'm going to go, what's after 3? I'm going to go 4 bears. 4 bears in my zoo. I can go 5 bears in the zoo. 6 bears in the zoo. 7 bears in the zoo. 8 bears in the zoo. 9 bears in the zoo. And 10 bears in my zoo. I didn't have to start at 1. I could start right at 4 because I knew there were 3 bears in there already. What if I start with 2 bears in the zoo? There's 2 bears in there already. If I want to add all the rest of these bears to the zoo, would I start with 1 again? Would I be like, 1 bear, I'm going to put it in the zoo. 2 bears, I'm going to put it in the zoo. What should I start with? How many do I already have? Go ahead and count those. If you said 1, 2, you're right. So I have 1, 2 already. What would be the next number if I'm going to pull one and put him in the zoo? If you said 3, that's right. It's 1, 2, 3 bears. Then I'd be like 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 bears. So it doesn't matter which one you start with, the order still stays the same. But sometimes you can kind of start from a jumping off point. If I already have some bears in that zoo, it doesn't make any sense to start at 1. We can start with the next number in our sequence or our order. So that's how we start off with our counting. That's the first part of our thing. I hope you counted along with me. If you didn't, replay this and count along with me so you get that practice with all those numbers. All right, that's the first part. Go. Welcome. My name is Brett McCardle, and today we're going to be doing a new episode. This is the 13th episode of The Joy of Numerals, and you will be joining us, and we're going to use our brains to put together a nice little piece today. And I want you to join me at home. So go ahead and get your pencils ready and maybe some blank paper so you can practice along with me. Okay, come on over. All right, so today I went ahead, we're going to be working on I guess this is a 3-foot by 4-foot easel. And so what I did was I went ahead and I covered this in liquid white, because liquid white will make it so you can get you can get some nice numbers right there on that screen, okay? So we're going to be using some colors. I went ahead and got all the colors ready. We're going to go ahead and tell you what they are, so you can get those colors ready at home. If you don't have exactly these colors, that is okay. You can go ahead and get your own version of the colors. So what I got here is I've got, you say tomato, I say tomato red, so I'll be using a little bit of that. I've got orange, you glad I didn't say banana, so make sure you just go ahead and get a little bit of orange, you glad I didn't say banana. We'll be able to use a little bit of that. I got a little bit of, I'll have blue Christmas without you blue, so make sure you go ahead and get your blue. We got a little bit of green with envy here, so make sure you get out your green with envy. And then we got a little bit of yellow belly. I got a little bit of yellow belly, and that's the paint colors that we're going to be using. So we go ahead and get our canvas ready. And today when we are working on our numbers, we're going to make sure that we give ourselves a little bit of credit. We're going to make sure that we don't think of anything as as a mistake, because here on the Joy of Numerals, we don't make mistakes. We make happy little accidents, all right? So we're just going to come down here. We're going to be working on our numbers. Now, the first number that we're going to work on today is going to be the number 1. That's right. You start counting with number 1. You pull up one number finger. We're going to work on that. And that is going to be the first one that we work on. And for that one, we're going to work on that one in this color right here. And that is going to be a little bit of, you say tomato, I say tomato red. So I'm going to go ahead and get my little paintbrush out. I'm going to be working on the 1 here. So you can go ahead and get a little bit of eyeball in there so we can work on that. Now, for this one, we got a little saying. There's a little saying for every number. You're trying to remember every number. This is how you remember it. You say, a tall stick will make a 1. Writing numbers can be fun. Now there's some motions that go along with that, all right? You ready? You get your paintbrush up there. You can use your crayons with this. You say, a tall stick can make a one. Writing numbers can be fun. So you see how I just went ahead and took my little bit of red there and I just took a tall stick? We'll make a one. I started up here at the top, I went straight down. So that's what you want to do when you're making the number one. That sounds like a good way. A tall stick can make a one. Writing numbers can be fun. So I just put a happy little one in there. You can put a happy little one in your picture too. I like to do it 3 times. A tall stick can be fun. Or a tall stick will make the one. Writing numbers can be fun. And that's how we make our one. All right, so that's how we do that first one. Now, we like to do it 3 times so we can practice. Usually you don't like to erase your art, but sometimes you got to make a little bit of space for the next part. So for this next one, we're going to get rid of our red. We're done with that for now. We're going to get out our, this is a color, it's called pink, I think is what it's called, but what I like to call it is I wish I were red. So this is a color that wishes it was red. So we're going to use that for this next one. But for this one, we're going to make a different number. You think 2's next, but it's not going to be next. We're going to try a different one. It's going to be a little tricky. Go down and go to the right. A long straight stick and 4 is in sight. You see that? You see that? That's how we make the number 4. Go down, go to the right. A long stick and 4 is in sight. So when you're doing the number 4, that's how you want to put it in. Go down and go to the right. A long stick and 4 is in sight. And that's how we get 4. And that's how you're going to be doing it when you're making those 4s on our work today. All right, we're going to go ahead and clean out our brush. We don't want to use this color anymore because this color wishes it was red. And we don't want any of that, so we're just going to dip it out here. We're going to clean it out. We're going to get our canvas nice and ready for the next number. The next number is the number 6. Now, number 6 is a little tricky, so for this one, I'm going to go ahead and get out my orange. You glad I didn't say banana? Orange, you glad I didn't say banana, all right? So go ahead and get out your orange. All right, for the 6, we're going to go with draw the line down, then go around. This is the number 6 you have found. All right? So, draw the line down and go around. And this is the 6 that you have found. So that's how we make our 6. We take it way up here to the top. We come all the way down and around. And that's the 6 that you have found. So make sure you get that right when you're drawing it on our little homework today, because you don't want to make sure you mix that up, because sometimes if you mix that up, you know what you get? You might get a 9. That's right. You'll end up getting a 9 if you mix it up. 9 every time. So make sure you do that 6 the right way. All right, I'm going to go ahead and clean out my brushes. Work on the next one. For this next one, this is going to be, we're going to use our I'll Have a Blue Christmas Without You blue. So we're going to go ahead and get that ready. This one says, and our little saying is, go around to the right, curve to the bottom, and then make a line to the right. You made a 2, neat and tight. So that's how you do that. That's a lot of words to make a 2. That's a lot of different directions to go. You want to make sure you don't end up drawing a hat or a bear or a teddy bear or a dog. So this is how you make a 2. There's lots of words for it. So you say, go around to the right, curve to the bottom, then make a line to the right, and you got a 2, neat and tight. And that's right, that's how you draw the 2. Curve to the right, line to the right, 2 nice and tight. And that's how you make your 2 today while you're working on those numbers. All right, let's see what else we got. All right, we're going to go ahead and use my favorite color, the best color there is. It's the violet. You're turning violet, violet, violet. That we're going to use for our next number. Now, the next number is a 5, and 5 is tricky. So be real careful with number 5. It's real tricky. So make sure you got your marker nice and tight in your hand. All right. Draw the line halfway down. Make a curve to the right. Put a line on top. And that's 5 so bright. Curve halfway down. Or I'm so sorry. I do need to fix that. Make a line halfway down. Curve to the right. Line on top. 5 nice and bright. Try it one more time. We make a line down. Curve to the right. Line on top. 5 nice and bright. So you're almost done. That's plenty of work you've been doing today. You're going to do one more letter or number. And that number is going to be the 6. Nope, we already did the 6. Oh man, I got a little excited there. We already did the 6. So let's try to work on our last one. We're going to pull out our green with envy. Go ahead and get your green with envy ready. All right, for this one, we're going to make the number 3. So we got a little saying here. Go around and around. What can it be? It's the dancing number 3. So that's our little saying for that one. Go around and around. What can it be? Why, it's the dancing number 3. So we got one more. You going to do one more? Go around and around. What can it be? Well, it's the dancing number 3. All right now, little youngins, thank you so very much for joining us. I hope your numbers turned out as nice as mine. I know they probably turned out as great as they possibly can. I appreciate all your hard work for working on those. I'm going to go ahead and get my paintbrushes ready. Now, what you're going to do today is you're going to work on those numbers too. I'm going to put my little paint thing down. So you with your parents, you're going to get these pages ready. And then I want you to practice these. I want you to go ahead and do a little bit of tracing on these with your crayons. You can use the right colors if you want with your crayons, or you can use a pencil. Trace these numbers. And then I want you to try it all on your own down on the line underneath. So this is the number 1. You're going to trace them. Then you're going to put 4 ones right there as well. 1B, draw some 1s. For this part, you're going to draw some 4s and trace some 4s. For this one, you're going to do some 6s, trace some 6s. And then you have to do this page as well. And this is the 2, the 3, and the 5. So make sure that you practice all those. Go ahead and draw those in, and we'll see you on the next episode of The Joy of Numerals. Thank you so very much, and you have a good day.